The United States has registered more than 25 million infections, accounting for more than a quarter of the global total. President Joe Biden is expected to ban most non-U.S. citizens who have recently traveled to South Africa from entering the country. The measure will take effect starting Saturday. Biden is also reactivating an entry ban on nearly all non-U.S. travelers who have been in Brazil, Britain, Ireland, and other 26 European nations, allowing travel across open borders. A U.S. CDC official says the new restrictions are to protect Americans from getting infected and reduce the risk of mutations spreading into the country. Addis Tiansan has more.
We are at that grim milestone with nearly 25 million cases, and that's about a quarter of all of the world's confirmed cases right here in the United States. And that unfortunately comes at a time when now nearly 40% of Americans live in areas where the ICU capacities have fallen down to 15% or even lower. Now, some states are reporting new infections and hospitalizations that are lower than the previous weeks, but experts are cautious to call that good news because of this new variant of the coronavirus. And we're talking about not just the one that was initially identified in the United Kingdom, but one that scientists here in California believe could be homegrown. I mean, they identified one particular strain they say is by far the most contagious among all of the strains that have been identified around the world so far. And one particular concern is about detecting it, because there are so many different testing methods right now out there that health experts are wondering whether they will all be effective in detecting this virus when tested. Now, obviously, it also comes at a critical time of mass vaccination efforts. We have heard from President Joe Biden saying that this was going to be the biggest operational challenge the nation had ever faced, trying to inoculate 100 million in his first 100 days in office. But we've also heard from Javier Becerra, essentially nominated to lead the Health and Human Services Department, saying that this is going to take some time.
The plane is in a nosedive, and we got to pull it up. And you're not going to do that overnight. But we're going to pull it up. We have to pull it up. Failure is not an option here, and so we will. That's where President Biden made it very clear. It won't happen overnight. We can do better. We can not only control COVID, but get us back to real normality. But it takes everybody, all hands on deck.
And there's definitely a sort of last-minute scrambling for resources for this administration right now. As we're hearing, several states are already reporting critical shortages in their vaccination supplies. They've already had to cancel thousands of appointments in multiple states. The Biden administration is essentially planning to inject billions of dollars, both in terms of testing and vaccination efforts, trying to bring about a more unified and consistent mechanism that would have a greater federal oversight. It is Tianshan, CGTN, Los Angeles.